Namaswa forms the basis of an interview I'm just about to have with the general, self-declared general himself, Dr. Miguna Miguna, who's now joining us live by way of phone from Dubai. Very good evening. Thank you very much for joining us here on KTN Weekend Prime. Let's start with the state of your health. How would you describe the condition you're in currently?
Akisa, thank you very much, and good evening to all Kenyans and patriots and NRM members. My health is not good. I was brutalized, as you have heard in the report. It is true that there is no other way I would have been removed from Kenya if I was not unconscious. These people came, there were probably more than 100, and about 40 or 50 of them came, broke into the room, the toilet where I was being held, wrestled me to the ground, held me there with the Somali-looking police officer that was at the main JKI arrival center, ordering them to get the veins and inject me. They injected me on both soles of my feet, both hands. The left hand, I think they put IV because it's still very swollen, and saw both sides of my wrist or of my ribs. And and nothing has happened in terms of medical tests, toxicology tests, and any kind of medication. What I did receive when I arrived was a first aid at the arrivals area. It was just a painkiller that was injected, that I got an injection of a painkiller. The condition, so therefore, is dire because these chemicals are still in my body, and there has been absolutely no medical intervention to be able to address them. The treatment I received was barbaric, it was primitive, it was tyrannical, and it is the kind of behavior that only rogue, despotic states engage in, and that is what Uhuru Kenyatta, William Ruto, and the Jubilee government did.
Dr. Miguna, are you still at the Dubai International Airport?
Yes, I am.
Earlier on your social media platforms, you described Arab police officers breaking into your room. Talk to us about that.
In the morning, I was supposed to meet with and speak with a consul official from the Canadian consulate in Dubai. And suddenly there was no communication because the Dubai police refused to allow her to get into the airport to see me and cut off, my calls and calls in. They also somebody tried to get into my room from another adjacent room. I could hear somebody trying to force the door open. I called the reception, and they were able to get the guy out, but I don't know what the guy looks like. That raised my concern because when I requested for medical attention and said I needed a toxicologist, they sent paramedics. And then the second time, they sent somebody who claimed that he was a psychiatrist. And when I asked him for his medical card or proof that he was a doctor, he could not produce it. And the guy that he was with said that he was a nurse. And when I asked for proof that he was a nurse, he could not produce it. They had absolutely no identity, no card, no identity whatsoever, no professional credentials. So at that point, I raised an alarm. Fortunately, a senior officer came and was able to address the issue. He confirmed everything I said, and luckily, the staff at the reception confirmed that they had been told not to allow anybody to call me or me to call out, and that they had stopped the consular from calling me and stopped me from calling the consular, and that somebody had actually been in the room trying to get in, and that there is a door that connects the room where I was to the adjacent room.
From what you described, seemingly you say it's very hard to trust anyone. So then what is your next course of action? Are you exploring going back to Canada or coming back to Kenya?
Akis, I don't think that is true, that it is hard to trust anyone. I'm talking with you, and I don't think I said I distrust you. There is nothing you've done to me. My lawyers have not done anything to me. So, of course, I trust them. I trust my family. I trust members of the NRM that came to demonstrate in support of me. I trust a lot of people. But then there is a few people, clique, that believe that they are entitled to leadership and nobody should criticize them. Nobody should threaten their legitimate usurpation of power. And this is the elite, not everybody. The single, entitled elite, the rapacious elite that is looting everything and reducing Kenya into a banana republic that is determined to barbarically, violate my rights and disobey numerous court orders. Akisa, I'm a Kenyan. I'm a Kenyan by birth. I know where I was born. I know where my placenta was buried. It is in Magina village, in Kano Plains, in Kisumu County. It is common knowledge that I went to schools in Kenya up to university. It is common knowledge that I only left Kenya when I fled into exile after being abducted and detained in Comunicado for more than 2 weeks at the Nyayo Protect Embassy.
What options are you going to explore now, given the situation you're in?
This because it's important that people understand that my citizenship is not in question. The court of law has more than 10 times affirmed that. A court of law has said that the so-called authorities should give me back my valid Kenyan passport. They have also said that they the courts have set aside the decision purportedly cancelling my citizenship. And today or yesterday, I saw the so-called president in Mozambique saying Mozambicans can come to Kenya without a visa. They also waived the requirements of visas from Western countries. But they insist that a Kenyan citizen like me must get a visa so that I can't work, I can't earn a living, I can't engage in politics, I can't lead the NRM, I can be deported anytime, I can be arrested anytime. There could be all manner of conditions put on my entry, yet I'm a Kenyan citizen. They are trying to limit my activities and my freedom in Kenya in violation of court orders.
Is going to Canada
very important.
Yes. Is going to Canada an option for you?
I am here against my will. I should be able to go to Canada or any other country willingly when I want to go. When the so-called president of Jubilee went to Mozambique, I did not force him to go there. He went there willingly. The Constitution says a Kenyan citizen is free to come in and leave Kenya freely at will, without any questions. I have had people ask, why didn't I use my Canadian citizenship to enter Kenya? Because when you enter Kenya, there are 3 lines: Kenyan citizens, East African citizens, and the others. You go to the Kenyan citizen line, and there you are supposed to produce your Kenyan citizenship record, whether it is ID, whether it is a passport. It does not vest citizenship. It is just verification of citizenship. That's where I went. And I proved that I was a Kenyan citizen. Everybody knows that I'm a Kenyan citizen, but they still stop me from coming. And
yes.
in any event, the court already said 10 times that Miguna must be allowed to come back to Kenya unconditionally, unrestrained. And Justice Odunga said, under no circumstances should you remove Mr. Miguna from the jurisdiction of the Republic of Kenya.
So
they still did so when I was unconscious.
So then, to cut it all short, your next flight that you are hoping to take will be back to Kenya?
No, I think that is an insensitive question because I don't own a plane. I'm not a pilot, and I can't fly myself to Kenya. So I was brought here unconscious. I don't have any documents. I would need documents. I would need a guarantee that when I come, I will not be tortured. I will not be mistreated. I will not be hampered from accessing Kenya. Those are guarantees that must be given by the authorities wielding guns and disregarding court orders.
All right. Dr. Miguna, thank you very much for making time for us here tonight on KTN Weekend Prime. It is a conversation that we will continue to have. I'm seeing a lot of reactions. Dr. Miguna Miguna speaking to us live on phone from Dubai, saying he needs guarantee that he will be secure and he needs his documents for him to be able to get back into the country. A story that